Alright boys, it's once again Sunday, so that means it's time for another weekly Ayashimon video. If you didn't catch the last two Ayashimon videos, I'll link a playlist for those down below, so if you want to check those out, please feel free to do so. But just for a short recap, this is a new show that I'm doing where I'm going to be taking a new chapter of a manga and giving it a score out of 10 in different categories. I'm going to add those scores together and take the average, and I will give the new chapter a overall chapter score. I also take an audience score out of 10, which just if you comment a score out of 10 down below, I will take those scores, add them to my original score, and then take the average of that, and that will be the revised chapter score, which I will then give out at the beginning of every new chapter video. So if you like this kind of thing, please feel free to like the video and give your own score out of 10 down in the comments below. Maybe give a little review as well. I love hearing what you guys have to say. I'm currently only doing this series for Ayashimon right now, but I also read a shit ton of other manga, so eventually as I get more and more free time, I'll be adding in more and more weekly and monthly series. Before we get started at looking at chapter 2 of Ayashimon, let's take a look at the overall audience score from chapter 1, and let's take the average of that and my own personal chapter 1 score. Needless to say, you guys seem to have liked chapter 1 a lot because the lowest score anyone gave was a 7. I'd say that's a pretty good sign for a new series if people are liking it this much already. The overall audience score is an 8.04 out of 10, which is actually lower than the 8.2 out of 10 I gave last week. So when we put that together with the audience score, my score, and the audience score, and take the average, it's going to be 8.12 out of 10. That is pretty damn solid for a new manga series. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in the audience score in the comments. I really appreciate you for that. I'd love to see more of what you have to say, so please feel free to comment again. Alright, let's finally talk about chapter 2. Urara fans do be eating good today because we finally got more glimpse into her backstory, her lore, and her true personality. It seems like this is going to be a bit more of a revenge story with Urara's lust to punish those who killed her father. And I can get behind that because we're probably going to be getting a lot more Urara content now because, you know, she's the only character with a driving force so far. Wreck-It Ralph was kinda lackluster this chapter to me. There just wasn't all that much to unpack with him that we didn't already get in chapter 1. I don't hate him or anything, but I just gotta be honest and say there isn't much about Maruo yet that makes me care about him, really. That said, we do get a new character in the fray, Hashihime. And even though she got completely one-shotted by Saitama's illegitimate son, I'm still hype as fuck about her. Not because she's a cool folklore spirit from an old Heian era Japanese folktale, and no, not because she added more backstory and personality to Urara, but because she confirmed that Jigokuraku's still gonna put boobies in Ayashimon even though it's a Shonen Jump manga. If you're no stranger to Jigokuraku's work, then you'd know that Jigokuraku is no stranger to a pair of tits. I kept having to angle my phone away from people on the subway when I was reading Hell's Paradise because there's like plant person titties every chapter. But I'm happy that we're at least getting giant monster tits in Ayashimon if nothing else. So I'd like everyone to join me to give chapter 2 of Ayashimon a collective nice.
Nice.
Overall, the characters in chapter 2 get a solid 7 out of 10. Listen, I'll mainline monster titties and more Urara lore any day of the week, but I didn't want to give it a higher score because I just am not connecting with the main character yet. I liked him a lot more last week because the joke was still kind of fresh and new, but I can see it getting old if we don't get a little bit more of him. The story for chapter 2 was basically just adding more lore to the world of the yokai yakuza and also giving some more backstory and personality to Urara. With the last 2 pages of chapter 2, we kind of get a look at who the potential villains are going to be throughout the story. It could even be a setup for how Maruo has to go through each of the 4 different gang branches, defeating each of the final bosses like he's a Pokemon trainer collecting gym badges or something. I was talking a little bit before about how I was disappointed with Maruo's lack of development so far, but with every storm cloud there is a silver lining. Because Maruo is a bit of a nothing sandwich so far, a lot more of the story responsibility falls onto Urara, and that's great because Urara seems to already be a fan favorite. Damn, it feels like I'm really coming after Maruo in this video, but I swear I like him. I'm just I'm left wanting more from him. I'm gonna give chapter 2 a solid 8 out of 10 for the story because I like all of the Urara development and the world building. I also liked pretty much everything that was included. I'm just waiting for that big hook to really get me. Finally, a spot where our boy Maduro can finally excel this chapter. Sure, he isn't a fully developed character yet, and sure, he has lovable idiot written all over him. But you know what? At least he's fun to look at. He's like the Patrick Star of this manga right now. You don't look at this boy and assume that there's an intelligent thought going on behind his big stupid eyes, but you still love him for it. I was also happy with the nice balance between actual dialogue and world building and the fight scenes in this chapter. I think it was a lot more balanced than the first chapter, but that might be more of like a story and pacing thing than an entertainment value thing. Fuck it, 9 out of 10 for the entertainment value. I'm gonna replace originality with lore this time for chapter 2 because there is a lot to unpack here. I genuinely love how Jigokuraku is adding real-life Japanese folklore into the characters and story of Ayashimon. I'm just gonna go through a few examples of the folklore influences I saw in chapter 2 alone. I really liked the inclusion of the bridge maiden Hashihime, and I thought it was really funny how Maruo kept messing up her name by calling her Chopstick Princess because Hashi is Japanese for bridge, but Hashi is Japanese for chopstick. They're spelled like the same exact way, and that was the joke. I just thought it was pretty funny. I also thought it was pretty cool that they have confirmed that Urara is a cute little Oni girl, and you can kind of see it with her design. She's kind of got hair that looks like Oni horns, and she has cute little Oni fangs that kind of flare out in opposite direction, and that's pretty common for Oni designs. Some people might think the cute Oni girl concept is a little overplayed, I know, with like ReZero and Darling in the Franxx and whatnot, but I will welcome it any day of the week. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But more so than that, I was really happy to see Urara's inclusion of the word Urameshia, which is a word from Japanese folklore that sorrowful ghosts will use, and it basically means, I curse you. And she was like, Urameshia, like, curse you motherfucker, whoever killed my dad. So if you were confused by that, that was just a classic Japanese folklore callback, I guess. This all confirms to me that Ayashimon is definitely going to be very deeply tied with Japanese folklore and Japanese mythos and whatnot, so it's going to be a lot of fun for future predictions for Ayashimon. I know there's going to be a lot of fun discussion surrounding folklore and predictions because of folklore and whatnot. Lore-wise, Chapter 2 gets a 9 out of 10. Chapter 2 was basically just a continuation with an already pretty fun concept, so I'm happy with it. When we add everything together and take the average, it leaves us with a total score of 8.25. Once again, this isn't like a My Anime List rating where everything below 8.5 is dog shit. This is kind of more like a more lenient Anthony Fantano grading scale. So 8.25 out of 10 is actually really fucking good. Remember to leave your own personal score down below in the comments so I can add that together with my score and we can get a more accurate and revised chapter score, and I will say again at the beginning of next week's review for Chapter 3. Also, let me know in the comments down below what other series you'd like me to do a review on. I read pretty much everything, so I kind of want to add more and more weekly shows as I get more and more free time. Also, if you like this video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to my channel. I love making these videos and that helps me out immensely. Follow me on my social medias, Twitter and Instagram. I have links to those down below. Come send me memes, come talk to me about anime and manga, give me suggestions, I would love that. And that's all. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.